Hey guys, I have a pumpkin here. That's what that is. But it is time to start the vlog. It is cold here today. That's why I'm in a hoodie. It's cold, rainy. We've been in a bit of a drought, so it's really nice. And I love overcast, rainy weather in fall time if I'm not out in it. So I am loving it. It's the perfect weather to be in bed reading. And that's what this is, a reading vlog. So very fitting. But I do want to tell y'all what I'm reading. So I read 21 pages in here today. This is Birdsongs Don't Lie, Writings from the Res by Gordon Lee Johnson. This is a essay collection and then a short story collection about what it's like to be a modern day Native American living on a reservation in California. And then it's taken everything in me not to pick up this book today. This is a contender for Best Book of the Year, and that is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Henri Fannin Jeffers. Yep, I was making sure I got the last name right. So this is a big American epic family saga going from before the white man got here. I don't know what to call that. But like it starts out with the Creek people and it goes all the way up to the modern time period, following one family and, well, a lot of different families, but they're all ancestors of our characters that we have in the modern timeline. And as it says in the description, this is a story of America itself, how we got to where we are now, and I love everything about it. I am 22% of the way in this. But this is my TBR pick. It's a 5-star prediction, and yeah, it's gonna be a 5-star, but I only picked this up on weekdays, so yes, it's taking everything in me not to pick this up, and I am following along with the audiobook. And then the book that we're focusing on today is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I will give you all updates on this every day that I read this, and this is my last book in my Taylor Jenkins Reid read along that I'm doing here on my channel. And last week's vlog was really dedicated to this book. It only takes about 2 vlogs for me to read these books, so I never know which one I should label as the vlog. I do know a lot of people, when they do read-alongs on their channel, do just one vlog dedicated to that book and do their weekly vlog, but it's 2 separate videos, so that might be something that I do in the future next year in 2024. Oh, that's crazy. But what is Carrie Soto is Back about? This is about Carrie Soto, who is a tennis player. She was like the greatest in the world and then retires. And then we go to 1994. Her record is about to be broken by another tennis player, and Carrie can't have that. She's like, I'm coming out of retirement. I am not letting somebody else break my record. So it's all about that, of her coming out of retirement and getting back on the tour, which she's not really on the tour. She's just doing the slams. I guess it's Grand Slams. I guess that's how you word it. I don't really know anything about tennis. That's why this one hasn't been a huge hit for me like the other books that I've read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I'm still loving it. And then lastly, my ebook is The Fiery Cross by Diana Gabaldon. I read a lot in here last night, like 40 some pages, but I read a chapter a day in here. This is the 5th book. Yes, the 5th book in the Outlander series. So that's everything that I'm reading at the moment that I will be reading in this vlog. I mean, I might start something else in this vlog once I finish one of these, who knows. Oh, and I should say, these 2 I am reading physically, when I told y'all this is audio and this is ebook. So I do all different kind of formats because I think that's important, to use all the formats that are offered to us, because back in my childhood, ebooks weren't really a thing. I remember when like the Kindle first came out, and audiobooks obviously were a thing, but I never really did them. But that was one thing I loved about my world literature class in high school, like my freshman or sophomore year in high school, is that our teacher would have us read in all different kinds of formats, which I think is so important, because by formats I mean like the audio, the the physical, because somebody might not vibe with reading an audiobook, so they're like, oh, reading's not for me then. But then they go and pick up an ebook that they can read on their phone or on their computer and be like, oh, this is so much easier. So I think that is very important. I hope that all English teachers do that, that they read in different formats, because different formats work for different people. And I love them all personally, but I do think reading physical is my favorite format. But I've read 5 stars in all the different kinds of formats. So I definitely do think you should try them all out and see what works best for you. It's literally like 9 o'clock something at night, and I read 100 pages in here. I honestly did not think it was going to be 100. I went to see what page they started on, and I was like, oh my gosh, I read exactly 100 pages. Like, the fact that it was exactly is why I was so shook. So I don't really have a ton of new thoughts. I don't have any new thoughts. Usually when I get over a quarter of the way into the book, my thoughts are set. I know when I'm going to rank it and or rate it and all of that. So the character work in this is so amazing. It's so unique, because we never get this. We know Carrie Soto as kind of a villain, as the other woman. We never really get that perspective, but don't think that's what this book's about her being the other woman. It's not just that. There is that, but she's a woman with a bad reputation, and we usually don't see that. We can think of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones. No, in the media eye, I feel like they had a lot of fans and everything, but Carrie is somebody who the media hates. And yeah, love that. And then being a sports book, that sounds like gambling, but being a book about sports, very unique. But yeah, the plot, I guess, is the downfall for me, because I don't really know a lot about tennis. So that is kind of, I've heard a lot of people though say, I don't know anything about tennis, but I love this book. Yes, I do love this book, but it's not a 5-star like her other books have been for me, and the Quartet of Famous Women. It gets repetitive at times, because obviously being an athlete, consistency is key. But to me, in life in general, consistency is key, but in sports, it really, really is. And so you're training every day, you're doing so much stuff, and you're doing it like every single day. So obviously, seeing that an athlete's life it's getting repetitive with the training, with the matches and all of that. So that, for it being a sport that I don't really care about, it doesn't really do anything for me. So just repetitive, and me not really being stuck to it because I don't know a lot about tennis. But I am going to read a chapter in here later. I'm going to go brush my teeth and all that. I don't think I'm going to get a bath tonight, just because it's late and I don't feel like it, because I am going to start rewatching Orange is the New Black for the first time, because I've been talking about it with one of my friends for weeks now, because yeah, I've just been talking about it lately, so I'm like, I want to go rewatch it. And then I've been watching the Culpa Sisters with the same friend, and we're just like, reality TV. Why? Making fun of reality TV. I do like the Culpa Sisters, but reality TV, you know. But yeah, I will see y'all. Just finished reading Carrie Soto for the day. I read 78 pages because I didn't get to read at 3 because I was at the grocery store. But that's not all I'm reading today. I will be picking up Outlander after my shower. Maybe after that, because I am watching the football game. I'm going to be watching a lot of sports this week. I looked at the schedule of all the games I want to watch, and they're all like back to back to back to back. So that should be annoying, but it's not really annoying. I'm going to be having fun. And it's great that it's this time of year when I've already hit my reading goal, so I'm not really like in a rush or anything. But we're here to talk about Carrie Soto. Let me put the dust jacket back on. So we should finish this book on, I would say Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, not sure, but it will be in this vlog. The thing I noticed today, this is too long. I was at around page 240, so that's not even that many pages in my book. And I was just like, this just keeps going and going and going. Can we finish this already? So we will be finishing it in 2 days. I have no idea what I'm going to rate this. It's going to be really fun to do the Call Pal system and find out what the rating ends up being, because I really don't know. And that's when systems like the Call Pal system are so helpful to help you find out what you're gonna rate a book if you don't know what that is. So you would rate, okay, characters are a 5, atmosphere, whatever, writing, plot. And I only do those 4, but you can add intrigue, logic, and enjoyment. And then you do the average of all those numbers, and whatever that answer is what your rating of the book is. So that is so helpful, because I know, like with this, I really don't know what I would rate it. So, and I know a lot of people who are probably new to reviewing or new to like Goodreads, where you can put a rating in, put a star rating in, and they're probably like, I don't know, this is overwhelming. So systems like that I think are really helpful. And if I ever gave a lesson on writing book reviews and reviewing books in general, that is how I would explain to like students. But as I said, I will be getting into Outlander later, reading a chapter in there. And Fred, don't be clawing my nightstand. But yes, so I will see y'all tomorrow. I have to, no, he keeps trying to get on there. I will be filming a video tomorrow. I'm filming a tag video tomorrow, and I've seen a lot of people doing the end of the year book tag already, but I'm gonna save that for December. I kind of forgot that was a thing, but obviously we still have one more month in the year after this month, so I'm not too concerned that I'm not gonna get to it, because I will get to it next month. I do think November is kind of early to be doing it, but for each their own. People can do what they want with their channel, but I will see you guys, and a happy Monday. I'm gonna adjust this a little bit. Okay, so I'm giving y'all an update. What? That came from what I was eating earlier. Okay, but I'm gonna give y'all an update on the Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, which y'all know I am loving this book. Could be best book of the year for me. Don't know yet, but it could be. I'm reading a section a day. I'm gonna show y'all how the sections are. So the numbers. So will be reading 5 tomorrow on 257. So I am about, yeah, I don't know, but I want to tell you what I'm thinking about it so far, since I am now over a quarter of the way into the book. And yeah, it's gonna be a 5-star. Ooh, shivers. But I usually know when I'm gonna rate a book when I'm over a quarter of the way into it, and it's so crazy. But okay, so characters, there's a lot of characters, and that is literally, I have the character like directory, family tree page. I have it all geared down so I can keep going back to it. I keep getting ahead of myself. That's my issue, because we do have our modern plotline, and then we have our plot lines that are in the past. So I am trying to connect all these, and I'm like, no, I just let the story flow. But I'm constantly having to go back and look at this family tree, because it's not a family tree in the traditional sense. It's not an actual tree. It's just the family members listed with who they married, who their kids are, and their years. It's not in an actual tree format. So that's why I do get kind of confused by that family tree, just because I'm so used to like an actual tree format. I don't know why the author chose to do it like that, which I have seen family trees like that, but it's just not really the traditional format. But our main character is Ailey, who I'm not a huge fan of her as a person, I should say, but I am loving reading her story, and I'm so interested when she's gonna get that like light bulb moment and realize about her ancestors. At least I think it's by the description of the book, it seems like it'll be like that. But even if it's not, I'll be fine with it, because this is, I wish I could write a book like this, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But I am enjoying reading her story, and there's so much trauma there, but it's not like done in a sense where that's her only thing going on, because a lot of times, sorry, my arm started hurting. I had the flu shot in this arm, so it's not just a lot of times you read these stories and it's just trauma. It's their only character trait, but this is a lot more realistic, as we are not only, our trauma are only one thing. That's not what makes you as a person. You are, diverse. There's a lot of traits that make you. So atmosphere, I love, love, love it. It's mainly, we have some place called The City. I've thought it has been a bunch of different places. I'm thinking Washington, D.C., Baltimore. That's the vibe I'm getting, but I really don't know. um, and then we have Chickasetta, Georgia, which is a fictional town, but based on the town where the author's mother's from. Edenton, maybe? I don't remember. But down towards Macon, that part. But I love that southern setting. It is so well done. The food, the culture, it's spot on. The writing, amazing, amazing, amazing. Lyrical. This is the author. I've heard it's the one and only novel she's ever going to do because she is a poet. And yes, very lyrical, very poetic. You can definitely tell that she's a poet. And then, but plot, we could all, every single person ever could have a book like this, going to how our family, how our ancestors make us as a person, and how everything is connected, and how there's so many parallels in life. How my favorite description of this is the Song of America itself, talking about cruelty, resilience, bondage and independence, oppression and resistance. That's everybody, and is it every country? Maybe. And just parallels in life like that. And there's a word that starts with an M that I'm blanking on. I can't remember. I'm really hungry. I'm about to eat dinner. I'm about to make dinner, but it's a word to describe something in literature, literary term. When you're comparing two things that aren't alike, I cannot think of that word, but that, but yes, I'm loving this so much, of connecting our ancestors to today. I wish I could read a book on my ancestors like this, and it talks about how there are some people in our history, who are our very first characters we meet in this book. They're forgotten to history, forgotten to their descendants, and that just fascinates me so much. People just vanish. Their names are forgotten and everything. I'm like, how does that happen? But it does happen, and it's in my own family tree. Like, I don't understand. It's so fascinating. But that is all for that. I will read Carrie Soto later, but I'm going to go make some soup. It is soup season. I made some cornbread earlier, so I cannot wait to eat the book. So I am 90%, basically 89% of the way into Carrie Soto's back, and my only update for today is that it is predictable. Okay guys, hopefully you can hear me well, but the Goodreads awards list came out in the middle of the night, and I went through all the books that I own and haven't read that are nominated for the awards, because I have read one of them, only one, and I voted for it because it is the best memoir nonfiction I've read this year. So these are all the ones. Obviously I have good taste, but I am going to try to get to all these before the end of the year. So these are going to be my mood reading picks until these run out, and then these will become TBR picks. So we have Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul, Hang the Moon by Jeanette Walls, Wayward by Amelia Hart, The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff, The Secret Book of Flora Lee by Patty Callahan Henry, Banyan Moon by Tao Tai. I learned how to say this, but Mame is how I'm going to say it, but I learned how to say that yesterday, by Jessica George. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger, Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, Happiness Falls by Angie Kim, The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton, Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati, Happy Place by Emily Henry, Tell Me Everything by Minka Kelly, Lone Women by Victor Lavelle, and Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I can't tell. Yeah. So I want to get to all of these. I wanted to get to them anyway, but, and also, so there's the category for debut authors, and so some of these overlap and are on that category as well. So since they are in two categories, should I push them to the top? Let me know in the comments below what you would do. I finished Carrie Soto is Back, so I've now read every single Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I finished my read along. I'm proud of myself for that. But we're giving Carrie a 4, so therefore my least favorite out of the Famous Women quartet. But it was still a great book. So let's go into my thoughts, my review here. And Fred is still wanting to climb on my nightstand. He just started doing this when he was doing it in the vlog the other day. I don't know why he's doing that. But my review. So characters, I love Carrie so much. I don't know if she's my favorite out of all the Famous People books, but I love her so much. She's just so passionate, so dedicated, determined, and those are my favorite traits in a person. Love, love, love that. I love that we're seeing the life of an athlete and seeing how they go about their relationships in their life when their main focus is being number one, being the best in the world. So I think the relationship dynamics and that lifestyle are so fascinating, and even in real life, I'm extremely fascinated by it. Like, I read so many Reddit threads. Yeah. I've loved the character work in that book. I've never, out of the Famous People books by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I've never had a problem with the character work. She always shoots it out the park, hits it out the park. I was gonna make a tennis reference, but I was like, I don't know it well enough. So atmosphere, that did not play a huge setting at all for me. Yeah, it did nothing. And writing was fine. Nothing blew me away. This book isn't as well written as her other books. It is very repetitive. We get tennis match after tennis match, training session after training session, and all of that just blended together for me. So there was nothing really distinct about this writing, except that it's repetitive. And then plot, I do really like a lot of the themes that we have of fate and destiny, going after what you want, and again, passion and dedication, that kind of thing. But the parts with the tennis, it was just too much tennis for me. I don't know anything about tennis, so this might just be a me problem, I don't know. And so that was kind of overwhelming, I guess, because that kind of stuff just went right over my head, and the book is obviously very focused on tennis, so the plot didn't greatly grip me. So this is just a plain 4, no point after it, just a 4-star. Now, y'all did see my stack of my Goodreads nominated books, so I'm going to get into that stack next, and I'm going to be doing whatever book I choose, whichever one was on top. Was it the Kitty Car one? Something like that. We will do that as an audiobook. But I will see y'all later, because I have things to do tomorrow. I have to order food for Thanksgiving because I am scared to cook ham. I've never cooked ham before, so I am just going to order one from a restaurant that does hams. I don't know if it's local or not, so that's why I'm not saying the name, but once I get more info on them tomorrow, I will. And then obviously we're going to Target tomorrow, and our knock on wood. Luckily, because last week, yeah, when I went to Target to get my flu shot, the pharmacy was closed because the pharmacy people were sick. So hopefully they're better, because I love them. They're my pharmacy, and they are fantastic people. Like, oh yeah, so great. But so I hope they are better. But yeah, so that kind of made me forget to do a lot of things at Target, like look in certain sections and all, because I really want a new Christmas pillow. This is my one from last year. I want a new one. And so I was just really scatterbrained, so I hope that everything goes according to plan tomorrow so that doesn't happen. But I do kind of have a headache right now because I haven't had caffeine all day. So I'm going to go do my nighttime routine, but I hope you guys had a happy pizza, so excuse if I have salsa. I don't see any, but I can't tell. But I got back from Target. I didn't buy any books, so we're just the book I was looking for, they didn't have, The Wall of Winnipeg, because I've seen it like every week, and then I talked about it with some people, and I was like, okay, might as well, because I can't find any other football stuff, so why not? But I did see this interesting cover of The Mistake, which is, I've not read this book, but I plan on reading it. I do have sauce on my screen, but I've never seen this cover of it before. The covers have always had like real people on them, and this one's like an animated cover. Animated? I don't know, is that what you call it? Cartoon? but so I didn't buy any books. I just bought groceries, and they had a lot of stuff on sale, like groceries and home decor. I got a pillow. I think I told y'all I wanted to buy a pillow. They didn't have the dachshund one, so I got a cat one, and I'm out of battery. Vlog, we're back. My hat always looks like that because I always look up because that's just how I look at the camera. I don't know why, but let's put y'all over here, back on my nightstand, crooked. Okay, so I'm watching the hockey game and it's going miserably. I'm like, anytime I have a friend who doesn't watch the games regularly, comes to watch the game, they do bad. I don't know why. And I totally left when I'm gonna talk about all the way over there. So I did read Into Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Not Du Bois. Du Bois. I read in that today, but we're not going to talk about that until tomorrow because I didn't read over a quarter of the book. But I did get to over the halfway point in Bird Songs Don't Lie, the story today, and it was so intriguing. It was like this Catholic father got murdered, and yeah, so going into those themes that you typically see with Catholicism. And then also, if you think about it, how that wasn't the original religion for the Native Americans. Yeah, so I forget, missionization, I think was the word, which is really interesting because I had never thought about that before I picked up this book. So that story was really intriguing. I don't want to say I enjoyed it because it was awful, you know, what happened. Like, yeah, it was awful things happened in it, but really good writing. Also, I am about to start Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul. This is nominated for the Goodreads Award for Historical Fiction, and I think debut novel as well. So let me tell y'all what this is about. I'm going to be doing the audiobook as well, and I'm going to be reading about 25 pages a day. So when Kitty Carr Tate, a white icon of the silver screen, dies and bequeaths her multi-million-dollar estate to the St. John sisters, three young, wealthy black women, it prompts questions, lots of questions. A celebrity in her own right, Elise St. John would rather focus on sorting out Kitty's affairs than deal with the press. But when she discovers in one of Kitty's journals rocks her world harder than any other brewing scandal could, and between a cheating fiancé and the fallout from a controversial social media post, there are plenty. Okay, the cheating fiancé part already makes me mad because why does that happen in every single book? But okay. The truth behind Kitty's ascent to stardom from her beginnings in the segregated South threatens to expose a web of unexpected family ties, debts owed, and debatable crimes that could, with one pull, unravel the all-American fabric of the St. John sisters. As Elise digs deeper into Kitty's past, she must also turn the lens upon herself, confronting the gifts and burdens of her own choices and the power that the secrets of the dead hold over the living. Did You Hear About Kitty Carr is a sprawling page-turner set against the backdrop of the Hollywood machine, an insightful and nuanced look at the inheritances of family, race, and gender, and the choices some women make to break free. But so that all sounds great, and then I love books about fictional famous people, so I'm going to start this. Happy Thursday. I was just outside. I recorded an ASMR video, then I went on a walk. So, you know, doing all the fun stuff. So do have stuff to talk about over here. I don't know if I'm going to read Kitty Carr tonight or not, first off, because Thursday Night Football tonight I'm going to be watching because they're teams that I'm fascinated by. But, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get into Kitty Carr, but I mean, maybe. You never know. I, like, never say never. Shivers. We might read some on commercial break and just, or not commercial break, at halftime and just see how far I get. But also, I have to get a shower and all that, so I don't know how that is all going to play out. But I did get to 75% in Bird Songs Don't Lie, and another good story, but it just left me wanting more. I'm like, okay, what happened? What happens to these people? And I mean, I do think that is kind of one of the beauties of short stories, is you can kind of make up the rest. But so many of these just feel like they could be full novels, and I'm like, I want to know more. And we just don't. And then I have been reading In Here today, and oh my gosh, I will be updating y'all on this in about 2 hours, but I have so much to say. And it's like this book is so good, and when a book is so good, I I have such a hard time writing a review for it because I'm like, this is one of the best books I've ever read. I'm speechless. What do I say? How do I review this? I mean, obviously I am going to review it probably next week, but it's so hard to review a great book because it's like, what can I even say? You'd have to read it for yourself. But so I have been thinking about that, but I do have other things to tell y'all about trigger warnings and that kind of thing, but we won't get into that until after I get finished reading For the Day in that book. And I'll probably, no, because I will read Outlander for a fact because that's my ebook and I can read at midnight. I can read that anytime. So that's another thing. Should I get Kindle Unlimited? Can I get that on the app? Do I have to get a whole new app if I get that? I don't know, because for Audible, I don't know if it's unlimited, but I do pay for Audible once, like, I don't know, I do have a subscription there. I don't know how often you pay for it, but I do have that. So I'm like, should I get Kindle Unlimited? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because as I said, I do want to just change up the formatting of how I'm reading and all of that. So I am interested, but I do need to see how much it costs and all of that. Yeah, I'm thinking about if I did it, because some things like this, my grandma will do it for my Christmas gift. So I'm like, do I ask her about it? Yeah, so I just have to see how much all that costs and how it works and all of that. So that might be something I ask for Christmas, is a Kindle Unlimited subscription. But that is all for now. I needed to update y'all on this, and I did. I don't know when I'm gonna be finishing this. Let's see here. I have 2 more stories in here, so I will be finishing this on Saturday, which will be in next week's vlog. Let's hope I don't get in trouble for having the game on in the background. Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football will not let you watch on Safari. It's only on like Windows, Internet Explorer, Chrome. So I had to go download Chrome, and I don't even think I'm live. I think I'm... Okay, no, I'm live. But yeah, so that was super frustrating. I had to do it all at the last minute because I was like, why wouldn't it not work on Safari? I feel like so many Americans, and really all over the world, but for football we're gonna use Americans, have MacBooks. And you're not gonna let your stream go on a Mac. I've never had this happen with any other streaming service, so that was incredibly weird. But I read 118 pages in The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's really... I really don't think I'm gonna get into Kitty Car tonight because this was so draining. Like emotionally, not like I was bored or anything. How could I be? But this is so incredibly dark, but it's in really an organic way. It's not like it's trying to be trauma porn, basically, to put it bluntly. Just how everything, the flow, because obviously people don't, I don't know actually, but people usually don't just go assault somebody to assault somebody. There's something that led to that. And y'all know I'm a big believer in mental health, like getting help for mental health. And yeah, this probably wouldn't be happening if people actually got help. But generational trauma is a huge, huge thing that needs to be talked about more. I've thought about something really edgy I could say, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get canceled. So it's really dark, very, very dark. So please, please look up the trigger warnings before picking this up, especially if you're not in a good place mentally. Don't pick this book up. Don't do it. Yes, it's just so incredibly dark. Like every trigger warning you can think of pretty much is in here. So I just wanted to warn y'all of that. And is this going to be a touchdown? No, it's not. But yes, so I just wanted to update y'all on that because yes, we are making our way through around 63% of the way in, according to Goodreads. I think that was 64 according to Storygraph. Because in Storygraph, I'm logging the audio, and then on Goodreads, I'm logging page number. I am following along in the book while listening. Just for some books, I think that is easier, and for a book I'm really enjoying, I like to do that. There were some parts today because I was eating my dinner and just listening, and I didn't have the book open because I didn't want to get it too messy, but I did get pizza sauce on my bookmark. But yeah, there is my update. I will see y'all later. Just look how creepy that is. I look like how I looked when I was like 12 years old. But should I put it under the camera? Yeah, instead of under my face. The shadows look so weird, but yeah, I'm not gonna read anymore today. I read 143 pages today, so I think I am fine on that front of not needing to read it anymore. If you're wondering, I just got out of the shower, so that's why I'm an egg right now. My hair's pulled back. Yeah, so it's officially been proven that I am a curse to quarterbacks. So my favorite player is Aaron Rodgers, and he obviously got injured in the first game of the season. Joe Burrow is my second favorite quarterback, and he just got injured in this game. So Josh Allen, I'm sorry if you get hurt, but yeah, apparently I'm a curse. But I'm going to be ending the vlog here. If you made it through this whole video, leave a football. If you're European, do a soccer, like, you know, with the ball is life. No, so if you made it through this whole video, leave a football emoji in the comments below. I've actually never seen Ted Lasso, but my dad has a pair of socks that says that quote, so that's how I know that. But I lied. I've seen the first episode of Ted Lasso, but I didn't have an Apple subscription, so I couldn't watch the rest. I will one day though, because I really want to. But yeah, so as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!